Most confusing changes in the Czech immigration law explained. There are some questions we always get now because of the changes in the immigration law becoming effective from the 2nd of August this year. Many people ask us about the same thing, so I decided to do a video about all of them and sum up all of these. So what I will cover now is British citizens and their duties now. Second, new types of residence cards and certificates for EU citizens and their family members. Number 3, changes in the definition of a family member of an EU citizen, because there have been some significant changes there. And number 4, the integration courses, which are obligatory for non-EU citizens living in the Czech Republic from the beginning of 2021. So let's go through that now one by one, and let's start with what has changed for EU citizens since the 2nd of August 2021. The major change there is that EU citizens will no longer be issued a certificate of temporary residence. Instead of that, they will be issued a registration certificate. As of now, we don't know what it will look like, but I expect it to look exactly the same as the certificate of temporary residence, just having a different title. But we'll see, because we haven't got one yet. It's been only 2 weeks. So we have some applications in process, so we'll know soon, but we don't know yet. Those people, those EU citizens who are already living here and have the temporary residence certificate, don't have to exchange it as of now. They can still keep it until the end of the validity. Usually the validity is 10 years. So when the residence certificate expires, they will need to get the registration certificate now. All the people, all the EU citizens applying for the residency now will be already issued the registration certificate. One more important change there is that EU citizens will have to pay, the ones applying now will have to pay 200 crowns as an administration fee. It used to be for free before, but 200 crowns is still not much. One important thing there is that it needs to be paid in revenue stamps, not in cash, not by car, but revenue stamps which you can buy at any post office, basically. Now, new rules for British citizens living in the Czech Republic. For British citizens, it's a bit more complicated because of Brexit. So what needs to happen there is, and we get plenty of questions about that, so I'll try to explain in as much detail as I can. For British citizens who hold the temporary residence certificate, which basically looks, let me show you, looks like this. It's kind of a folded piece of paper which only looks half official. It's like really like piece of paper. British citizens should always have their big red stamp saying EU withdrawal agreement, and that means that they are still keeping their EU rights even though they're officially no longer EU citizens. But there is a new requirement becoming effective from the 2nd of August 2021, which says that they need to exchange this piece of paper for a biometric card. The biometric card looks like this. Okay, so it's a plastic card with your fingerprints and digital photo and your signature, all this. So all the British citizens who are living in the Czech Republic now and have the temporary residence certificate, the folded piece of paper, need to exchange it for this biometric card before the end of August 2022. If they don't do that, they will lose the rights as EU citizens. So it's very important to do that. Now, how to do it? You need to go to the Ministry of the Interior responsible for the area where you're living. So for example, if you live in Prague 4, you go to the branch in Chodov, in Cikánkova. If you live in Prague 6, you go to the branch in Žukovského in Prague 6. So if you live in some other city, if you live in Brno, you go to the Brno branch of the Ministry of the Interior. And what needs to happen there is that you need to book an appointment for biometrics, so-called biometrics. That means that you will go to the ministry, they will take your fingerprints, they will take a digital photo of you, and you will digitalize your signature. It's a special type of appointment because it's done by special counters only. It cannot be done by any officer you meet there because there are just they need a special reader of the fingerprints and everything. So you need to book a special appointment for the biometric card. That in most cases cannot be done online through the FRS system, the online system where you can book all the other appointments like changing the address or stuff like that. You cannot book an appointment for the biometrics. Be careful about that, because I've seen this in plenty of groups. Hey, I've booked an appointment for this. Is it correct? Is it not? For a short period of time, there was this option to book an appointment for getting the new card in the online system. But I believe that was just a mistake, because for most of our clients, it disappeared after like a day or two. And for all the other non-EU citizens, you cannot book it online. You always need to call the ministry, the booking line, and book it by the phone. It cannot be booked online. When you call them, they only speak Czech, so it's good to have a Czech speaker. They will ask you about your full name, your date of birth, your passport number, and they can also ask you about your residence address, because on the address depends which branch of the ministry you will go to. So be prepared for that, and tell them that you want to book an appointment for the biometrics. Because it's important. You cannot do it during any other appointment, because they just don't have the equipment to take the fingerprints and everything. So you need to have a special appointment for that. When you go to the Ministry of the Interior, you take the number. If you ordered the appointment via phone, you will just search for your name in the ticket machine there. Click your name, you will get a number, the ticket with your number, and you wait. Then when your number appears on the screen, you will go to a very small room. You will take a seat, and then you will do all the procedures. So first, usually they do the fingerprints, then they take the photo of you, then you digitalize your signature, and then they ask you when you can come collect the card. Because the card, as I showed you, it's not just the piece of paper which you had until now. It's not like this, but you will be getting a biometric card which looks like this, and it takes some time to get this card issued. It's not just something they can do on the spot. It's done somewhere else, and they need some time to produce it. So they usually agree with you on the next appointment, where you'll go to the ministry again, and you will get the actual card with your photo, signature, and everything. So this is how it works with the biometrics. So you cannot really book an appointment online. You need to do it through the phone. If there is an option in the online system, let me know. It can be different for different people, because as I mentioned, we saw it in some online booking system of some our clients, but then it disappeared, and now they usually don't have it there. So it might be different, but in general, for non-EU citizens, you always need to call. It's important to do it before the 31st of August next year, 2022, if you want to keep your EU rights here. And one more change. No, that was it. So yeah, that was about British citizens. I'm thinking if there is something else important, but I don't think so. Yeah, maybe one more thing. If there is still someone among you who is British citizen, who's living in the Czech Republic and doesn't have the residence certificate yet, you can still get it, but you will need to prove that you have been living here since before Brexit, so since before the end of 2020, and that you were physically in the Czech Republic when the change happened. So because we had plenty of clients, plenty of British clients, so we have a lot of experience with that, and in most cases it's okay. But in some cases, we've already faced the issue that the person left for the Christmas holiday, and they were not in the territory of the Czech Republic when the year was coming from 20 to 21. And they told us that they will not accept the application because the person wasn't physically in the Czech Republic when the change happened. Of course, this depends on the officer you meet, because some of them are very helpful and they will do everything to help you and make the process smooth for you. Some will try to make it as much complicated as possible. So it also depends on who you meet there. But in general, you need to prove that you've been here since. Then another change number 3 is the definition, or the change in the definition of a family member of an EU citizen. That's very important because that's a very significant change. So what exactly changed is that there used to be just one definition of a family member of EU citizen, and it included all the different variants. So spouses, kids, partners, old parents, and everything. Now there are two different definitions. First definition is a close family member. That applies to spouses. So for example, if you're an Italian citizen living in Prague and you have a wife from Vietnam, then she's your spouse and she is considered a close family member. The same applies to kids. So if you have kids which don't have an EU nationality, but you are an EU national, then that applies to you as well. In some cases, it also applies to parents, but that's very complicated, so I will not go there. So those are close family members. Everything else is considered distant family members. So for example, partners, if you just date each other, you can still apply for the partnership visa, but you will no longer be considered a close family member. You will be considered a distant family member. And that's very important because the rules change very significantly there. The main change is that you need to submit some more documents than before. So I've covered this in my previous videos, so you can check the changes there. But what is important from the perspective of exchanging the documents is that if you're a family member of an EU citizen, you now have, let me find it, a document like this. It's like a blue booklet which looks like a passport, and you have your photo like just glued here. So if you have this type of document, you need to exchange it. And now, if you're a close family member, you need to exchange it before the end of August 2023. If you're a distant family member, you need to exchange it until the end of August 2022. Because if you don't do it, you might lose the rights as a close family member of an EU citizen. If you exchange this blue booklet for the biometric card, which I'll show you in a second as well, like this, then you should still keep the rights of the close family member. So everything will be working out for you the same way as you're used to it now. If you don't change it, if you don't exchange the blue booklet to this biometric card, then you might lose some rights, and that would definitely not be nice. So make sure that you exchange this blue booklet for this card before the end of August 2022. Now, the last topic is obligatory integration courses. I've decided that I will do another video which will go more into details, but now I'll just tell you the basic things about the obligatory integration courses. Basically, this doesn't apply to EU citizens and their family members living in the Czech Republic. But if you are a non-EU citizen, and if you got your residence card after beginning of 2021, in most cases, you're obliged to go through a mandatory integration course, which is a course, it will be 4 hours, where they will explain you how it works in the Czech Republic, what are the customs, habits in the Czech Republic, what are your rights, what are your duties, and they will kind of introduce you into the life in the Czech Republic. It's mandatory for everyone who got their card after the beginning of 2021, or even who changed the purpose of stay. So I will go deeper into this in another video because there are many exceptions, and that would be like a long video just about this topic. So stay tuned for that. Just for you to know now, you have 1 year from when your new card was issued to go through the integration course. So if it was issued, let's say you got your card 1st of January 2021, you only have until the 1st of January 2022 to go through the course. So it's actually closing up. So be careful about that, because if you don't go through the course, you might pay up to 10,000 crowns fine for not going through the course. Plus, I guess it might also have some influence to your residence permit extensions and stuff like that, because it's a law requirement and you would not be following the law. So be careful about that. The mandatory course can be booked through and paid also through the foreign reservation system, the online system where you book your appointments for the MOI. The price for that is 1,500 Czech crowns. You need to pay it in advance, and then you can book an appointment or book the date for the course. So this is also very important because it's mandatory for everyone, besides the exceptions I'll talk about later, who got their card from the 1st of January 2021. And you only have 1 year to go through the course, so only until beginning of January 2022. So we are getting close to there. So be careful about that. If you haven't done that yet, book your appointment for the course. And if you have any questions, get in touch with me. If you like this video, please like it, share it, comment, let me know, and I'll bring you more news. Yeah, that's it. Now, if we still have someone watching, so if you have any questions, now is the good time to ask the questions. So I'll stay here for, I don't know, a couple more seconds. And if you have any questions, please ask them now. I'll try to explain in the video. If not, then I'll finish the video, and you can still get in touch later on via email or on my TikTok or wherever I am, on YouTube, Instagram, everywhere, Facebook. Okay. So I'll dance a bit for you while I'm waiting, and I'll give it, let's say, 10 more seconds. So if you're maybe writing a question, just send me whatever, just a couple letters so I know. If not, in 10 seconds, I'll end up the live stream. Okay. So it doesn't seem like I'll have any questions. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you very much for coming here. If you have any questions later on, get in touch, and I'll be happy to help. Bye-bye.